Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I got the Felony body on the bench, and we have a tail pan. I just want to go over a couple things. This is how to install it, things I do to go about prepping it, stuff like that. So let's get right into it. Let me move this shell. So tail pan's gonna come right off the printer. Gonna have, a bunch of sanding to do, but what I'll do first is I will make sure the tops of these taillight lens bores are flat and true, and make sure your lenses fit prior to anything. That's the first thing I do, is fit the lenses. If it doesn't fit now, it surely isn't going to fit after you paint it. So, but I'll do that first, and then I will sand all the layer lines out of this thing. I typically use 220 to start with, usually on a block. You want to keep this as flat as possible because these surfaces are flat, so you want to keep that as flat as possible so it doesn't turn into a big ocean, big wave fest. But sand that all up, prep it, and make sure you get your top portions of your skirts. This is the most important part, is this outer edge. The reason being is this is how it's mounted into the shell. So this is something you want really smooth, painted really well. The smoother it is, the better it's going to adhere. So anyway, I will get it in filler primer, usually using an automotive filler primer. If you can, get it in black. That way if you get any chips or anything like that, it will show through black. Obviously if you have an orange rig or whatever, try to use a base color that's a primer color that's close to at least the appearance. Worst case scenario, you're going to see gray or whatever you use underneath if it gets nicked. But high build primer, sand it out a couple times, prime it, sand it, the drill. Get it all prepped in primer, and then I will go right for the paint. The paint I used in particular on my rig was basically a European trim black, which is a trim black for automotive. It can be had at any auto parts store. It's a decent paint. It's pretty close to what's there as far as the side skirts and the original color of the lower portion of the car. So it's close enough for my standards anyway. But once it's painted up, simply get your taillights and put them in your bores. I usually will tack them with either CA or 2-part epoxy. Tack the lenses in, and then I'll use 2-part epoxy on the edges of the buckets all the way around the edge of this opening, and then stick it on. 24-hour epoxy is always better. It always adheres better. It's slower cure, the better. But 5-minute epoxy works just fine. I would imagine if you hit something hard enough to blow the buckets off the back of it, you probably have more issues than just the buckets. But that's it in a nutshell as far as prepping it and getting it ready. Nothing super special about it, anything that's low, needs fillers, whatever you have to do to, bring it up to your standards. So as far as mounting it, let me grab the shell. So as you can see, this is part of the body, not part of the car. That was the intended design. I originally was going to have it bolt in like this into the diffuser, but it got too crazy, so I didn't want to go that route. I wanted it attached to the body. I wanted it to lift away so it's not always in the way. Moral of the story is you're going to use double-sided tape, and you're going to use it on this triangle of the body. This flat portion of the body I will cover in double-sided tape. So the top portions of the skirts will stick to that, and that's what this is, and it has been. I mean, it's strong, you know what I mean? So I'm holding that by that. Look, I'll hold it with one hand. It's strong. The adhesion is good if you use the correct tape. So speaking of that, this is the tape I use. It's a 3M product. It can again be had at any auto parts store. Part number is 03609. It's a 3M body molding tape, so I will use that. And like I said, this outer portion basically, you know, mimics the body. So I will stick the tape inside the body here on the flats. The warmer the better. If you can do it in a warm area, 70 plus degrees, that's great. If not, you know, you can always put a little heat on it with a heat gun or a hair dryer or something like that. The more heat, the better. Obviously, don't heat the heck out of this. You'll melt it. So, you know, same with the body. You don't want to put too much heat. But basically, it's that simple. And you can literally just pop this thing in there. You know, you line it up with the edges of the skirts, press it flat, hold it firmly, give it a good press. It sticks real well. I mean, you know, as long as your surfaces are prepped and clean, use alcohol pads, clean all these surfaces before you stick down any tape. Obviously, your fresh paint is going to be great for, you know, adhering to double-sided tape. So that's the route and the method I use. There is a second method that you can use in these flat sections of the body. You can drive screws through this into the top of the skirt. The top of the skirt has some thickness, and that will allow, you know, to catch some bite on some threads. But you know, you can drill 2 holes or 3 holes, or you know, you could put 4, whatever you want to do. You can line the outside. You could put 1 inboard. I chose to step away from that. I didn't really want to do that because I like the look of it clean with nothing there. But if you're going to do it, use, you know, black button heads or something like that. I'm sure they'll blend away pretty nicely. But that's just an extra, you know, precaution if you guys want to do that. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I just wanted to touch base with you guys on that. I know I said I'd make a video about installing it, so here it is. And then as far as my light setup, you can see it's actually an old brushed ESC, Arrma ESC case that I gutted out. It was one that smoked up on my daughter's rig. So I pulled the guts out and I just utilized the case and the switch. But single cell LiPo, that's out of, like, you know, small drone or something like that. And then I have the switch right through the opening, which, you know, that's always nice. It's accessible from the outside. No wires going down to the rig itself, you know, getting in the way or wrapping up in a drive shaft or something. My next approach is obviously the front of this rig, so that's actually coming really soon. It's all done. It's been done. I just haven't had time to make the video. But all these lights will also be, you know, wires will run through the body up to the nose, and we'll get the headlights and the blinkers in, and you know, we'll go from there. But keep an eye out for that video. That one's coming very, very shortly, I promise. Things have been crazy for me. I'm just super busy now with all my falling behind. So, just like I said, wanted to touch base with you guys and, you know, explain real quick how I put these in. So, hopefully this takes some of the confusion out of it. But there it is. So I will catch you guys in the next video, and hopefully it'll be an upper grill assembly. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support, guys. Later.